Making sure that your executive team is 100% aligned before hitting go on implementing new tech and software can be one of the most challenging, but yet also the most important step before you move forward. Joining me today on Tech Tools for the Trades, I have an expert on this topic. Jeff Elwell is the CTO for Duggan, a large mechanical contractor, and Jeff is going to walk us through some tips to make sure that your executive team is 100% aligned before hitting go. Hello, Jeff. Thanks for joining me today. Really excited to have you on this episode of Tech Tools for the Trades. So this topic's a really important topic, how to align executive leadership. And you certainly, as a CTO, are an expert in this field. And so I was really excited to get you on this meeting and have an opportunity to talk to you today. So thank you for joining and welcome.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So this first question that I have for you seems kind of obvious. It seems kind of straightforward, but I think it's a good place to begin the conversation. When we are looking at implementing new technology in our organizations, why is it so important that executive leadership is aligned and on the same page?
If you're really going to be successful at implementing software or anything in technology, you need support to do what you need to do to get that stuff done. And that's a lot of growing pains, a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of setting expectations so that people know that it's not a linear, smooth process. And the more that you can educate and have your executive team behind you on that and understanding how that process goes, the more successful you're going to be across the board.
Yeah, that's a great point. And actually, it kind of leads in really well with the next thought that I had and kind of the next question. And that is, despite our best efforts, sometimes we don't have everybody on the same page. We don't have 100% alignment. Sometimes there's that leader that still isn't certain or has some, fears or concerns we haven't addressed properly. What do you recommend folks can do out there that may find themselves in that situation where they just can't get past one or two on
Yeah,
that?
and there always is, right?
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah,
always people, and usually they're the people that have the good processes and that have a reason to push back against it because, maybe some of the things that you're correcting with a software or a technology are things they're already doing really well and you're not
yeah.
speaking to them directly. I think that, and another like low-hanging fruit, really easy thing to say, way harder to do is to, bring those people on at the ground level and have them doing things that show, this. If you can get this person's buy-in, then you can get anyone's buy-in. And not only will that person eventually believe in it, but you'll have tested it on your hardest audience.
I love that concept, and it's one that I've only recently have kind of even considered because on a similar conversation I recently had with somebody, they said that when it comes to field adoption, they actually like to begin that conversation with the folks that are least likely or will have the most challenges, the most struggle actually using that tech to begin with them. And a lot of times we think the opposite way. We start with, like you said, our champions, our power users, and we get all them in a room and we go, let's build this great new process. But I love that idea of starting with those that might be detractors or might be dragging their feet a little bit and bring them in early and say, hey,
Yeah, and
let's work with you on this.
you get the people that the champions are the people that are going to use it and know are going
Yeah.
to follow you and all of that, and that's all well and good, but I feel like that's step two. Like that's more of a support and workflow thing. The people that are going to drive it at your company are the people that might be hesitant at first.
So I know you've worked with a lot of leaders with a lot of different backgrounds and lots of different motivation in the past. And so I'm curious, what are some examples you've seen of executive leaders who have done a great job of supporting new initiatives?
This is where I get to brag about where I work.
Yeah,
So that is why I work where I work, is because of the executive team, because of the drive they have to do what's best for the company, the drive they have to support what their employees are doing, especially a tech department. I am supported in everything I do by every high level executive at this company because they want the technology and they understand the need for it, and they understand that, like, if we're going to be the best, that is, one of the things that we need to hone in on to be the best.
I really like this theme that you keep bringing up around, um, you know, construction has survived without technology for many, many years, and so we do need to move forward, but we also need to show respect towards and appreciate and learn from the fact that it has been done without it. And so finding that right balance, I think, is a key component of building trust and getting everybody on board and identifying that no, this is help us do more of what we're good at,
Yep.
not to get in the way of it.
I mean, that's what I'm here for, right? Is to be trusted to pick the right technology, get rid of the wrong technology, have some bumps in the road and be trusted to deal with them. That's why my team's here. That's why, and so if you don't trust that, then that whole department's kind of for naught. It's,
Yeah, right.
you're handcuffed,
Yeah. How have you seen leaders' attitudes towards technology, construction leaders, change within the last, let's just go look at even just the last 5 to 6 years?
Yeah. Like tenfold. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 or 6 years ago, people were hesitant to move to Revit. People were hesitant to even like the, BIM and whatever your definition of that is. And, I really felt like we were in the Wild West we were really in a place where, like, do we really need this stuff? Like, I don't, you would hear people say oh, well, like, we're just going to stay in AutoCAD. I don't know that Revit's really it. Like, and now good luck finding a job that isn't completely in Revit.
Last question for you. What is the single best piece of advice you have for construction leaders out there that are looking to bring tech into their organization, that are trying to get aligned? What would you say to them?
Yeah, be patient. Just be patient with everything. Nothing's, like I just said, nothing's gonna work the first time. Nothing's gonna make sense the first time. Just be patient with it. Re-implement over and over and over. Just like continue teaching. It's all training. Everything comes down to how good people are with the products and how you support those products.
Well, great advice, Jeff. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining me today. This was a great conversation. We could, of course, go on for much longer, but again, I want to thank you for your time and all of your wonderful words of wisdom there.
Yeah, you can bring me back for another episode.
I certainly will. I certainly will.
All right, awesome. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.